Okay, everybody, here we are back again for the podcast. Are we ready or not?
Rolled over,
I just started, so here we go. You ready?
We're
okay,
ready.
start
And
right
go.
now
And go.
Or maybe all this will go in
This
there. I don't know.
Behind the scenes look at what happens every week.
That's how it happens every week.
Check.
We are ready to go, guys. How are y'all?
Good.
We're recording a little late this week.
Yeah.
It is now Tuesday
Fresh
afternoon.
after
so
your birthday lunch.
birthday lunch I
Yeah.
had. Yeah.
Had some pizza.
Pizza for birthday lunch. We had a icebreaker question and staff meeting about our favorite pizza toppings, so everybody naturally had to get pizza today. So
And that's what we did.
and that's what we did. We surely did. Good weekend this weekend. A lot of good folks there. And I think 6 people, I believe, said yes to Christ over the weekend.
Six people.
Something,
Six people.
Six
pieces.
pizzas.
6 pizzas.
6 pizzas.
Now I'm in the
Six
pizza mode.
piece.
Yes. 6 people in person, but we
Yeah.
had 3 online that we got the message
Wasn't
about.
that cool? We got
Yep.
a message back from a young lady who's in a sober living house
Yep.
who's attended
Yeah.
here sometimes, and
Yeah.
she's working to get clean and get help,
Yep.
And so she puts it on at the sober living house, and 3 ladies said yes to Jesus.
Yep.
Knoxville, right?
With us online. Was it Knoxville? I didn't see
Celebrating
her.
that. That's a
Knoxville,
really cool
Tennessee.
thing.
Probably watching now.
Hey.
So shout
How
out to
cool!
you
How cool is
if
that?
you're
Yeah.
watching. Yeah.
That was a comment came through online that
Yep.
somebody
Yeah.
got to me. Greg got it to me in between services. How cool is that?
Yep.
Now
Thank
that
God.
our internet was working. It was
Yeah,
sweet.
last week was the big internet shutdown here at Upward.
I'm still getting some questions about that, so maybe this is a good point. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah,
internet guy.
wasn't working last week, so the stream was not properly functioning. But we're
that's
back.
Sunday before last.
Yeah,
it
we're
was
back.
out.
We're back.
Yeah, we got
So-
new service out here, and apparently they didn't give us the speed
Yeah,
we needed.
yeah.
So
But it's okay. No need to fret.
I
We're
talked
back.
to a couple. We laughed about it. They just bought a new TV, and they'd
Yep.
hung it, and they thought it was their television, so they kept turning the TV
I
off
thought
and
a bunch
on
of people
and
would
everything.
think that. Yeah,
Yeah.
When something goes wrong, I assume it's my stuff. When something like that
Yeah,
goes
it
wrong.
wasn't
But it was
y'all,
not.
it was
So
us
if you thought
that
you were
week.
crazy, it was our fault.
I mean, you still may be.
Yeah, maybe you are, but
Could still be crazy, but
But
That's
the
right.
stream is
internet's
back.
okay.
The stream is
Faster
okay.
than it used to be, right?
Yep.
We got a
Mhm.
lot
Should be
faster
better.
service going out,
Should be
so the
better.
improvement. Got a new camera, so it should
Yep.
be looking better out there.
Yeah, looking
Yep.
crisp.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. We keep improving and improving.
There you go.
Started a new series called Don't Attempt This Alone.
Whatever does that mean?
Yep.
That means don't do life by yourself.
Oh,
In reference to your microwave story.
yeah, the story goes I tried to hang a microwave by myself, and I hung the microwave, but it was a little crooked, and I won't try that again.
there you go. Didn't really
So-
work out the way that it's supposed to.
No, it didn't. So many people, this is reality. Why do you think it is, guys? So many people are alone in our world. I've got a stat Greg sent me that I'm going to read this week, and just the growing, I guess you could call it a pandemic of loneliness. It's real.
Yep.
It's real. I meet with people, and I try to make effort to connect with people, and sometimes I connect with people who really look like they've got life figured out and all together, and they just don't have any friends.
Right.
Yep.
What's causing that in our world today? What do you guys think? I'll ask you the questions.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably, I mean, it's like anything, it's probably a combination of a bunch of stuff. But you certainly think that, the media world that we live in, where everybody, the idea of it is that we're all connected very simply. But I think kind of in that, you miss out on like real opportunities to come face to face with people. And a lot of times, high exposure to media can really tank your social awareness and just your ability to just talk to people in public and make friends and things like that. So especially with younger people who are so media like saturated, they just kind of lost the ability to go and be social and talk to people. And that certainly hurts it. In addition with, how much access to things we have to when we're by ourselves, it feels like. So, but it's not all real connection.
Right.
So
It obviously started before this too, but I
Yeah.
mean, we talk oftentimes about how the COVID pandemic sped a lot of things
that's big
up.
too, yeah.
And so, I mean, we spent, however long of a period of time it was for, for each individual. I mean, you spent a lot of time being told, don't be around people. You know, there was
Yep.
the social distancing thing. Don't be around anybody. And so, I mean, there was a time period there where everybody was encouraged not to be in any kind of social atmosphere. And so that kind of put us into a place too of where, you know, maybe you lost some of those skills, or you lost the ability, or, you know, stop surrounding yourself with people. And it just kind of has carried on, I think, since that as well.
I got to admit, going into the pandemic, you know, about 4 years ago, I remember I'd gone to buy some groceries, and I was in the parking lot, and I was in the car getting ready to pull out, and the realization hit me: I don't have to be anywhere for the next month.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing on the schedule. I mean, obviously, we were still coming here to do the sermons and to broadcast them online, but I thought I don't physically have to be anywhere
Right.
for, I think at that point, like 3 weeks out. And I was like, wow, what? And for a few weeks, that was pretty cool.
Right.
It really was.
Got to slow down. I mean,
It was pretty cool just to shut down and have no expectation to be anywhere. It was a homebody's paradise.
Right.
You know, you didn't have to go out. You didn't have to be anywhere. You couldn't if you wanted to. But man, after 3 or 4 weeks of that was killing me. I have to believe there are other people out there like me. That was just killing me. I don't think it was killing everybody. I think some people really liked it, and now they don't want to get back out in the world. That seems to be my feeling. I don't know. And I get the feeling of wanting to have home time. There's times that I just want to go home, just hide in the cave, you know, and just stay there. But I can't live that way. For me, I don't know about you guys, but for me on a Sunday, you know, we run really hard on a Sunday. I mean, we're at church at 8 o'clock, and we do 3 services, and we get out of here 1:30 or so. I don't want to go home on Sunday afternoons because I'm so much in people mode, and I'm tired physically, but I'm so in people mode that I don't like going home and just stopping. I kind of want to go out and do something, whatever it is, go eat something or go walk around somewhere or do something. I don't know. I need people in my
It's the
life.
opposite for me. I don't
You
consider
wanna go
myself a
crash.
shut-in by any means, but like on a day like
You
that.
are more of a shut-in than I am.
Than you, yes. I wouldn't call myself a total.
I raised a homebody here.
Yeah, which made for interesting Sundays at the Craver house.
I'm sure it
growing
does.
up. But yeah, I'd like go home and take a nap.
Yeah.
But I agree. Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of people that probably just got used to that, and that's what they want to do now.
But we also live in a society, in a world where you don't have to be around people, and you don't have to, you don't even have to leave your house. I mean, we kind of made jokes about, I can pull up my phone and just use my thumbs real quick, order food to be delivered to my house in 20 minutes. But you can do that with just about everything. I mean, there are jobs now where you never have to leave your home. You can just work from home. I mean, we got a little bit of a hybrid approach here that we provide flexibility for people to be in the office or work at home on some days. But I mean, there is the ability for people to be able to get everything that they need from a physical standpoint without ever having to leave their house.
The word became big, contactless delivery.
Yep.
In other words, you had no contact with another human being. And in the pandemic, that was a huge deal. We were told that was very necessary.
Right.
You could debate a lot of stuff we were told during the pandemic. We won't do that here, but we can. But contactless became a big thing of let's order the food, and they lay it at the door, and I never see the person, and I open the door, and there's the food. That sounds really good sometimes. Maybe for food delivery, that is a good thing.
Right.
But, man, the contactless deal, I think, crushed a lot of people's hearts.
And I think this just kind of highlights, these are just some of the highlights of what we're talking about here, of why it may be so difficult for people, why we find ourselves in a place of constant loneliness in this epidemic or pandemic, whatever you want to say, of loneliness that's in our world today, is because it's become so convenient. And in some ways, the natural way to go about things is to remove yourself from being around large groups of people.
Yeah.
There's something to, especially when you're growing up, learning how to interact with strangers, not like going out on the street. But I think of when you're a kid, it's a big deal when you start ordering for yourself at a restaurant. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like you're the one talking to the wait.
It's expensive too.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's something to learning how to do that that's valuable, because you're learning how to interact with people and how to be respectful to somebody. But now these aren't intrinsically bad things, but there are so many methods now to totally avoid any sort of interaction that, all of a sudden you got these people growing up and It's like they've never done XYZ that everybody else has that really gets you up socially. I don't know. It's strange. I don't know. I don't know if we're reversing backwards or if we're gonna go deeper into this thing. But
well, I have to believe that the trend of loneliness and isolation has contributed to this incredible spike in anxiety.
oh yeah,
Sure.
Now I'm this is anecdotal, and I've heard some research on it, but there are so many kids today who are struggling with anxiety. I mean, like crazy. And I think part of that's just the isolation. I think we were so driven by fear during that time and told to go home and stay safe and all. And I think that contributed a bit to the incredible amount, the wave of anxiety we have among young people today. The world was so destabilized for a couple of years there, and the isolation just crept in on us.
And the kind of the rub there too is exactly what you talked about this past weekend, is that this may be the position that we find ourselves in this place of loneliness, but we weren't created to be this way. This isn't the way that God designed humanity and human beings, and we were created to be in community with other people.
We absolutely were. We were made to. There's some things we were made to do that we just don't do.
Right.
We were made to spend a lot of time outside. We don't do that anymore. We spend a whole lot of time in artificially conditioned rooms, and climate-controlled stuff. We were made to spend a bunch of time outside. We were meant to gather our food and to go out and have to work to get our food, not move our thumb, and unhealthy food comes running after us. That was it. But one of the things we were made to do that we're getting away from, we were meant to connect with other people on a very deep level, on a regular basis. God created us for that. We talked about Sunday, Adam. God created Adam and put him in the garden. And then God highlighted Adam's need for Eve. He didn't create them all at the same time.
Right.
He didn't create them both at the same time. He created Adam, and I think it was to demonstrate to Adam and to us. Eve was not an afterthought to God.
Correct.
God didn't say, "Oh, I messed that up. I need to fix this."
Yeah.
God did this, I believe, in sequence to highlight to Adam his need for the companionship of a wife and wife with husband, to show him that so that he would walk in that and see that. I think God did it that way to show us all the incredible need for a companion like that.
Yeah.
Adam had to see it.
Yeah. I thought it's, you mentioned it too. I thought it was pretty interesting too that, that God just didn't say, Adam, you need somebody. He didn't tell him his need, but he showed him his need. And I think about that in my own life. People just tell me stuff. I don't know how well I get it, but if you could show me the need for it, you show me the experience that is necessary in my life, then I'm much more quicker to grasp onto that whole concept.
Oh yeah.
You can't tell me anything. I'm not an audible learner,
Right.
generally speaking. I can't listen to a lecture and learn. I just can't. I can sit in a room and hear somebody talk, and I don't learn through my ears. I learn through my eyes. And if I listen to a lecture, I need to be writing or drawing something on a paper that I can look at. Somebody needs to be writing on a board or showing me a picture. You can tell me how to do something, and I'm lost. But if you show me one time, I've got it. And God didn't just tell Adam, he showed him.
Yeah.
God didn't say, Adam, you need a mate. God brought all the animals of the earth in front of Adam, and Adam named them. And it's right there where God said, still there was found no helper suitable for him. Your helper, your companion, is not coming from the animal kingdom. It's going to be a special creation of God for you, like you. And Adam, the only thing I can imagine he did is he saw all these animals coming by, and there's male and female. And Adam says, hey, there's not a match for me here.
Right.
Yeah.
And he realized his need.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's y'all's turn to
Sorry,
say something.
I thought Michael was getting ready to say something.
The other thing is, we got into the message too about so many people kind of grate against the word, the old King James word, I think, is helpmeet.
Right.
God said it's not good it's not good for man to be alone. I'll make a helpmeet for him. And that word helpmeet is such a difficult word for the Hebrew translators to get, but it's a helper that's suitable to him. And so many people think, oh, helper, the God's degrading
women
do the voice. By putting, God just made the women to be helpers. I did that Sunday. Women are just little helpers and nothing could be further from the truth. God put Eve on this incredible pedestal, and God does not view women as the inferior gender, by any means. The society in the Old Testament days and New Testament days did. And you can read some of that kind of creep through as you study the culture. You can hear some of that coming through sometimes. Right. The Bible never affirms degrading women or making them less. In fact, Jesus elevated women to this incredible position. But we said, and I got a lot of laughs out of this, the word helper in Hebrew is used all throughout the Old Testament as military reinforcements. It's when a unit is in the middle of a battle and losing, and then the reinforcements come to actually help bring the victory, and that's been true in my life. Husband and wife watch out for each other, and man, there's been so many times when I was really down and my wife stood in the gap for me and helped me to regain my composure, and vice versa. It's just a powerful place to be a helper to another human being on that deep level. We're talking about marriage, in this message. We're going to talk about friendships as we go on into it, and they're very powerful as well. But such an incredible, the helpmeet is not meant to be some inferior, plan B role that God just came up with on the fly.
Yep.
It's an incredibly
helper
powerful.
Doesn't translate to servant.
Yeah, Jesus said, whoever wants to be greatest, let him be servant.
Yeah.
And we're both to serve each other, husband and wife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I went around the house Sunday after church and everything saying, "Where's my helicopter at?" You use that illustration from We Were Soldiers. I was like, "Where's my helicopter at?"
That was the illustration that meant a whole lot to me. Several people hadn't seen the movie We Were Soldiers.
What is your problem? Go see the movie.
It's this cool scene.
Come on.
Have you not seen it?
No, yeah, I've seen it.
I was about to say, what kind of son have you raised?
Yeah. It's been a long time, to be honest. It's been a long time. I remember the crosshairs thing.
Oh, yeah, and those attack helicopters were so cool. Yeah. Well, that's what it means to have a helper. Yeah, and life is a battle. There is a lot of problems in life and a lot of challenges come our way in life, and we need somebody else to help us get through. There's times you're just not going to make it if you don't have somebody else in your life. And
what would you say to somebody today's watching? Maybe they were here this weekend. Maybe they're just watching this today, and they're saying, "Okay, hey, I recognize God created me to be in relationship, be in community with it, but I don't know how. I'm much more comfortable being by myself, but I recognize the need for other people, but I don't know how to begin. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do." What would you tell them?
Well, it's risky. It's risky to be in relationship. I think some people have stepped out there maybe and gotten hurt. Mm-hmm. Maybe they've been rejected. There's a risk, and you got to take the risk. The risk, the reward far outweighs the risk in this situation. The reward of having other people in your life, and you're going to get hurt.
Yep.
You're going to make yourself vulnerable, and people are going to let you down. Even the ones that love you the most will let you down from time to time. So you've got to be willing to take a risk. There's no question about that. And you've got to be willing to put yourself out there and get out of that little shell that you build for yourself. You got to do it. So I would say go looking for relationships in the right places.
Yep.
Church is a great place to do it. Church is a very imperfect place, and you can find con men and bad people in church as
You're
well
gonna
as you
find
can
imperfect
find them in
people
the
in
world.
church.
Yeah. I would say anyone looking for a mate, don't go looking for somebody that just wants to hook up, or have a sexual relationship. Don't look for someone that just wants to use you for whatever they want to use you for and discard you the next day. You want to look for people in the right places, people who are heading in the right direction. Mm-hmm. I told this to a young lady one time. Her and her husband were having marriage problems, and she came to Alexa and I asking for help. And I said, "Here's what you need to do. You both need to follow Jesus with all your heart. Seek after him. Follow him first. And as you follow him, he will bring your marriage back together." And I think that's true for someone who's wanting relationships and needing him. Follow Jesus. And part of following him is getting plugged into a local body of believers, where relationships can be found.
Yeah.
I know here in the church there are plenty of people who are married and happily married. There are people who are struggling through marriage situations. There are people who are divorced, who are trying to figure out what that looks like. There are people who are single, maybe have been single or maybe are single again, who are looking for a relationship. And we just pray for them and believe God that this can be a place. I would want them to find their person here.
Sure.
And
good news is
God
too
can
is
do that.
Whether it's relationship or even just friendship, there are people like you out there. Like the things that you're into, I can almost guarantee there are people that are interested in that as well. So if you can find those groups of people that are interested in the same hobbies and things you are, that helps a lot too.
We have this thing. Have you ever heard of someone getting friend zoned?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
It's like
Never happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
never happened to you, but it's like the guy or the gal will just want to push the other one back into the friend zone. They don't want to go any further. I think you got to start in the friend zone. I think you ought to go after somebody you can be friends with. I really do. I think there's an illusion out there that there's got to be this magic dust that falls on you, that you're just smitten with love at first sight. I think the biggest thing is to be able to be friends with them and let the deeper affection and all that grow out of that. You don't want to marry somebody you can't be friends with.
Yeah, you got to be able to talk with this person for a long time.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be with them for a while. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I always tell people.
Whoa, hold up. Wait a minute.
Hopefully. I mean, if things go well. No, but I always tell people, like, when you're dating somebody, like, you should be able to, like, just sit and talk with them for hours and not feel, like, exhausted. Because that's what you do. Like, you're living together, you're with each other all the time. So if you can't do that, it's never going to work out, because you're going to get, if you get tired of them and they drain you after an hour dinner, it's just not going to work out. Because because you're going to amplify that times 100 when you get married. So you should be able to.
That's good advice. To be aware of your emotional level, your emotional tank, and how it doesn't get filled or drained.
Yeah, that's huge.
We do that oftentimes when we're looking for leadership or we're looking to hire staff. We'll be in a meeting with them and say at the end of it, did this person fill my tank or completely drain my tank?
Are you dragging out of that meeting, or are you like, oh man, I can't wait for the next one?
And there's always times of ministry with people, even your friends and people you love, that you're draining because you're pouring into them. But what you're saying that's so true is you need people in your life who fill your tank, who make you feel better about life, better about yourself, better about Jesus, make you a better person.
Yeah. So
that's what I would say. Find those people.
So you're looking for somebody to say, you complete me.
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Jerry Maguire. I haven't seen that movie.
I make fun of that movie. Yeah, the whole illusion of you complete me is it's an illusion. You can't complete someone without being complete in Jesus.
Right.
You just can't. And there are things that you do. You marry a person often that's opposite you, because God brings you with a person that has strengths where you're weak, and vice versa, and you need that. So in a sense, there is a completion, but that's never complete without a relationship. It doesn't happen without Jesus. Two people without Jesus trying to complete each other is a recipe for disaster. It's unrealistic expectations. Yeah. All right. Well, it's been good, guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate all the listeners. We'll delve a little deeper into friendships this week and learn how we need to be connected.
Love it.
Yep.
All right. Thank y'all. See you next time.
Bye-bye.